Welcome or welcome back to my channel. I'm going to read some funny stories. There's only 2 funny stories, and it's in the subreddit funny stories. Yes, I'm doing another Reddit stories. You can find pretty good stories off Reddit. So these are from the subreddit funny stories. There's 2. They're pretty long, so bear with me as I read them. Okay. Yeah, it's the same day as I made my other 2 videos, the Pet Scary Stories. Those, yeah. Okay. So, before I get started, make sure you don't have anything to drink, because no spitting of water. I'm gonna read this. So the first story is, got high and ran into cops pulling over a black couple and started recording and did not know how to act sober. Remember, I am reading these from the subreddit. These are not my actual personal. It's not my personal story. I'm just reading what I see. Okay. I just can't handle social situations when I'm high, unless I'm with my close friends. Then one fateful night, I run into a serious situation with cops. And there's no way they didn't realize I was high as in kites. Let me set the scene. Ready, kids? Buckle up. It was a warm summer night in a mostly empty beach town. My friend and I had just gotten drunk and then really high when we decided to go out for a walk near the beach. So we started walking and smoking and getting higher. Suddenly we see several cop cars and sirens go by. We freaked a little, but they disappeared, so we were chill. 5-ish minutes later, we end up at the main beach street where we see some cops having pulled over a car. We were curious to see what's going on, so we get a little closer, but not too close. We didn't want to get in trouble for public intoxication and the like. However, as we got closer, I realized a couple of the cops pulled over for a black man and woman, and I hear them answering the cops' questions with confusion. I hear something along the lines of, "We got a report of some black people making a disturbance at a bar." From one of the cops, the black man responds that they haven't been anywhere near a bar tonight. At this point, several thoughts happened in my head, my high brain, the most important being that I had to be there for this couple and record it, especially considering the ton of police brutality that had happened in recent news. Good for him for pulling up the phone for evidence. But don't always do this. You could actually get in trouble. So I walk up to the cops and couple and start recording with my phone. I don't say anything at first because I really didn't know what to say, nor was I sure I'd be able to give him a chance. Then as the cops tell the man and woman to sit on the curb while they check out their car, pretty sure this was an illegal search. The woman notices me in the phone and thanks me for being there. Outside my tracks is to need a search warrant. If there's nothing visible, okay, let's continue. Just saying, cops seriously can't search your car or your house without reasonable cause and a warrant from a judge. I'm trying really hard to form words and coherent thoughts. Again, I was drunk and really high. And I say, no problem. Then it's silent as the couple sits on the curb and the cops start roaming through the car. Being high, I start to feel a weird mixture of paranoia and social awkwardness. And I feel that it's been ages since anyone has talked. It felt like 20 minutes, but in the video, I think it was more like 2 minutes of silence. And I'm thinking I need to do something to ease the tension. And I open my mouth. So, I begin then take a big breath. That allows the rest of my words to somehow together in such a way that not only surprises everyone, but also very obvious and makes them aware I'm not sober. Have y'all heard about the astronauts up in space? Kind of crazy, like people I know have built the systems in place and technology to allow people to go to space. It really makes me wonder at how great the universe is and how we all need to be there for each other. I mean, come on, I wouldn't. Okay. They all look at me. The woman looks like she instantly regretted thanking me, probably wondering what lunatic would try and start a conversation like that in a situation as as it was while being very obviously not sober. Then the man saves the day and starts joining me. By conversation, we find out we're both from South LA, and a real conversation starts. Then the cop asks if I can stop recording because he has a camera on him and it's not necessary. But I persist. He gets defensive. The woman tries to defend me. Then they get into a heated argument. I again feel extreme social awkwardness and start talking. You know, we all live in this world and it's hard no matter what. We just all need to be here for each other. We all have our own families and shit we deal with. And I want you to know I'm here for you. You know, in this world, we only have each other. We can't let one another down. The cop and the woman look at me, this time in a weird combination of disbelief and relief. And the cop starts agreeing, and the woman starts agreeing. And then they both apologize to one another for the tense situation and shake hands. It was crazy. Anyways, the cops end up admitting that they had the wrong people, even that they may have jumped the gun and stopping them and let them go. I stopped recording after the cops pull away and the couple leaves, and I head back to where my friends were waiting. And I believed that I saved the couple and that just maybe I had some unknown superpower that could erase racism and self-confidence, till I once again became sober and realized the world sucks. But if you ever want to be this tense situation, just make a fool out of yourself. It'll confuse everyone else enough to get them to band together to deal with your weird one addiction. The end. To the comments. Said, you, sir, are a hero without a cape, and for that I give you a medal, but I'm broke. Cheers, my friends. Same, I'm broke. OP said, I need no medal, only the promise that should the time come with humanity needs, that you will listen and get high and save it. So, one person, can we see the video? LMFAO, that sounds crazy. Good thing you were there. OP says, actually, let me see. I don't want to give any identity information because I say a lot of more specific things, but I can check if I can crop those out. Or would I post the video? From the same person who commented. I don't know, I'm not familiar enough with Reddit, YouTube, I guess. Now that I think about it, it seems like a lot of work. LOL, I wouldn't worry about it. OP says, nah, I want to figure it out now. Watching me say in real life is literally so freaking funny. I thought I was passing as sober, and hearing me invalidate that with my words is freaking hilarious. I'm not gonna lose this for the video. So one person commented, it is good to record, but don't upload without being sure that the police is wrong. Some people are pulling the race card, which is so wrong with the actual racism there is. There is a problem, Twitter isn't a fix. OP commented, they admitted they profiled a couple and realized live that they were wrong to pull it with couple random black woman, man and woman who did not fit the description they were given. You hear them say that it was a group of black people and that this couple was nowhere near the bar they were heading towards. Then the same comment said, yes, I know, it's just a general warning, you handle the situation very well. So yes, the cops were very much profiling. Don't do that. They're being racist. Because you know, it takes more energy to be hateful and racist than it is to be a good person. Just definitely. Let's move on to the next. before I move on, I really do believe these cops racially profiled. They say, and even from the cops, from the radio, we got a report of some black people making a disturbance at a bar. Some means more than two. They would have said a couple of black people, but no, they said some, which means it's more than two. Could have been 3, 4, 5, who knows? But still, they racially profiled, and that's not okay. So let's move on to the next. It's called That Time I Caused an Insurrection in Chuck E. Cheese. Okay. So this is back in maybe 1992, and I'm a hyperactive kid with a big imagination who may be a little brighter than I need to be. We're at Chuck E. Cheese, formerly a Showbiz Pizza. It's my older cousin Pat's birthday. I'm forced to go because my dad is doing something else. I'm not sure what, but he just dropped me off. I never get to hang out with these particular cousins because they are related to my grandfather, who I will call Rolling Stone. Rolling Stone was my dad's dad, but my grandma was not his wife. Granny Billy was his wife. Dad got along with his half-sisters, but his brothers and some cousins always treated him a little funny because he was the other lady's kid. But he looked for the most like Rolling Stone. Myself, my dad, and Rolling Stone all looked eerily similar. Not sure why those guys were such successful philanderers. I just never was good with women. Skips a generation or two, I supposed. I don't know what he was trying to say there. Anyway, because of all this, it was a rare and momentous occasion for me to be around my cousins and my Auntie Wilma, who I adored. I also particularly loved that Chuck E. Cheese. No other one I had ever been to had that sort of maze in the back corner, adjacent to where all the animatronic shows were. I loved Chuck E. Cheese. I loved the games. I liked the pizza. And I even liked the Chuck E. Cheese toys that would break the next day. What I didn't love was the mascots. I was petrified of them, especially Chucky. I thought Chucky was a demon with his cold, dead eyes and disgusting body. Like kids today don't know what the old Chucky looks like. Dude was nightmare fuel. I can't believe it. I also thought he was a demon because he would be on a stage and then teleport and be somewhere walking around. I was a smart kid, but I was a kid. So instead of putting 2 and 2 together, I decided that instead of it being a reasonable explanation, that he was a demon spawn. Parents, be careful what you read your kids at a young age. My parents were into fantasy and stuff. I was read the SANTH novels from the age of 3. I don't know what that is. We're gonna look it up together. Oh. So, obviously you can tell my age. There's 23 volumes to the series, so, yeah. So it's just a series of books that were based off fantasy and stuff. Okay, let's go back to, thing. So all is well, I'm avoiding Chucky and the stage area and minding my own business, but spending all of my points on the new game. This new game, Captain Bucky O'Hare, that I was obsessed with trying to beat. Every time I'd run out of coins, I'd run back to the adults to get more. And every time there would be less adults, the kids were still around and playing. Everyone's stuff was still there, but the adults were missing. Now I didn't get panicked. about this until Auntie Wilma vanished and little Rob and Dee Dee were still there. At first I asked, no one seems to know or care. They're all acting weird. I go around and ask the kids, and we began looking for them. Every adult that's still there is very weird and unconcerned that people have randomly vanished. We even went to look in the parking lot, and they weren't there. Cars still there, but not in the building. We went into bathrooms in the maze and all around looking for 30 minutes, nothing. After an hour, we go to one of the adults and explain our situation. And the fact that the cheese smell now smells weird, we are worried something is happening. They'll just blow us off. So we go to the manager and some older woman who was mean as hell. We tell her we can't find our parents and that we are scared. I will never forget what this woman said. It's not my job to keep track of your parents' skin. They could have fallen off the side of the world for all I know. Don't care. How about you leave me alone and figure it out on your own? We were stunned. Yeah, I'd be stunned too. Well, this person is fired. I was led to believe that an adult can solve all our problems. Then Pat says he last saw them talking to Chucky DiMario Tuesday. Says his mom and dad had been talking to Chucky. We go ask Chucky, and he's all weird and vague, and eventually tells us that's a secret and to go play. Oh yeah, we're like, oh my god, this is so serious. Here we have Chuck E. Cheese. We all coordinate at the birthday party and trying to put together a surprise. Now, since my childhood had just done that, I was way away listening to the conversation. I wasn't trying to get close to dead eyes over there, but hearing what he said convinced me of the truth. The adults were dead. Chucky is a monster. No one cares because the fumes from the cheese is hypnotizing. The adults, and they're chopping them up and putting them on the pizza. Yep, that is the only explanation. Mind you, I'm the youngest. No one should be listening to me, but because I'm the smart one, no one challenges this stupid idea. We go around and talk to the other kids, ask them about their parents and the people who came with them. Of course, some adults who were once there were not, and we were able to convince most of them to help us get to the bottom of this. I do recall thinking rescue ranger systems. One kid, we'll call her Sally, suggested we go talk to Boss Lady, the manager. I looked at old Biatch in the eyes from across the store and scowled. I remember saying she said to figure it out on our own. I bet she's one of them. No, I could not properly explain who they were, but trust me, they're bad and they're cutting up your parents and feeding them to us on the pizza. This kid probably has ADHD. I was asked why the other adults didn't notice. And my response was the cheese. The smell is hypnotizing them. I guess I said these with such confidence the kids just went wrong. He was not kidding when he said he had an imaginative. Yes he was. So first we needed to arm ourselves. We pulled our tickets and got those yellow plastic bags, jump ropes, water guns, small knockoff super soakers. We filled with water, soda, and hot pepper flakes, and we armed ourselves. There was at least 15. Next, we all hid in the maze and let the two little. I think he's trying to say twin, he puts H-Mong, M-O-N-G girls. Little girls, I think they were twins. Lured Chucky into the maze. Now the maze could be seen from outside. There was windows and stuff, but if you hid well, you could easily hide 20 kids back there. More if you got up into the pipes. So when Chucky turned the corner, Pat and Cat pushed him over Chris. He falls down and we get to wailing on this guy. We're shouting all kinds of shit, and I think he gets the gist of what we were on about, attacking him. So we get his head off and find a person in there, and this a-hole instead of doing anything useful. Some 16-year-old not within the happiest half afraid forever, exhaust on. He said something like, "Oh my God, thanks for saving me." Why would you? Well, okay. I hope everyone who worked at this Chuck E. Cheese was fired after this. "Oh my God, thanks for saving me," and just plays along. Tells us that he used to be a kid playing games and they trapped him in the Chucky suit, made him their slave, which was all the confirmation I needed to validate how completely right I was. We tied him up with the jump ropes, so if he turned back, he couldn't hurt us. And we decided to assault the kitchen and save who was there. It was a mess. Took about 15 minutes and every adult in the place to restore order. I shot that old biatch in the face with my gun. It's a water gun. She screamed bloody murder. I was eventually stopped by Auntie Carissa and our liberation was ended. Now after this, more parents showed up and they had us all in front. The manager wanted to kick everybody the F out. I think it was Uncle Jay that stepped up and asked what was going on and who was responsible, and all of these little Benedict Arnolds didn't come to me out. But I didn't have a lick of sense, so I stood defiantly and told him what I did and why. He asked me sensible questions too, like, why didn't I tell the adults or ask someone? I did, then asked me if I was stupid or if I thought if something was wrong they wouldn't notice. I calmly explained my brainwashing cheese smell theory. At this point, everyone is kind of laughing, even the staff, except the mean old biatch, because she is like staring daggers at me with bloodshot eyes. I told her and she told me to figure it out. So I did. Only later did I find out what was really happening. So first and foremost, the parents were behind the Kmart getting high and drunk. You couldn't have liquor in there. The ones who were there were already high. The dude in Chucky suit was actually kid of one of my uncle's friends, and he sold weed. Mind you, I didn't find out any of that till I was a damn adult. My auntie had been retelling the story. So they took my picture and banned my dad was called because I had to go home early, and yeah, I got like one of the top 10 things in my life, but was for a long time certain that something was still up with Chuck E. Cheese. Because, you know, the truth never came out while I was still a kid. And the last line is, funny story about how telling a kid to figure it out leads to a child insurrection at Chuck E. Cheese. So one person put in, okay, I don't know why my phone cut me off like that. I gotta go back to the thing. I honestly thought I lost the video because it wasn't popping up. I don't know why. Completely stopped recording, but one person commented, as someone who has only been to Chucky's House of Cheese and Evil as an adult without the benefit of recreational pharmaceuticals to boot, I don't think you did anything wrong. Learning experience. Not only that, the fact that the manager told you to figure it out, you know, when parents walk out, you now become responsible for these children. And instead of maybe saying, figure it out, you could have said, they stepped out for a minute. They'll be right back. It's not that hard. They're children. Tell them they went on a magical journey and they'll be right back. But like, I get working with children can be very frustrating, but sitting there telling them to figure it out. What did you expect? And for the person who was playing Chuck E. Cheese, good job for not really good job. You should have played along. No. You could have also said they stepped out for a minute. They'll be back. And he was like, what, 16 and selling weed to adults who are supposed to be watching children? Either my phone is possessed, or it's just not working. But anyway, let me pause on the video before it messed up. So if you enjoyed the video, please leave a like or a thumbs up. If you're not yet subscribed, please subscribe and turn on the bell notifications so you know when I post. And I'll see y'all in the next video.